Welcome back, everybody. Today I am gonna do some more work on my transmission. I've had some downtime. Well, I had to work last night, and I have the next 3 days off. So I figured I've been wanting to just spend more time at home doing whatever I can that I have, to change a couple things, repair whatever. So like on the last video I did with the ITBs, I had time to replace those bolts and everything else. The short blocks at the machine shop, and that's about done. So I got to pick that up here next week. But today we are working on my transmission. I got a bunch of bolts I got from my boy, so I'm gonna clean those up. I want to paint the transmission and just replace a couple bolts and make it look clean. So here's what it looks like right now. So this is my transmission. It's a S80, a Draining B16 transmission. I don't really give you guys too much detail on it, but the last time we worked on this, I cleaned it, washed it, degreased it, got all nice and spiffy. So now I'm just gonna throw some paint on it. All these bolts right here, I'm gonna replace those. I gotta mask off where the starter's at, take off that mount, and then we're gonna paint it right here. I don't have much space to paint anywhere else, so I'm gonna paint it here. And let me show you the paint I'm using actually. And this is the paint we're gonna paint the transmission with. And while I had some downtime yesterday before work, I actually masked off my mount for my alternator. And this is like for some of us OGs in the scene. This is the stuff I can do from home. Things that doesn't cost a lot of money. Things that is really cost effective. You get some paint. You get your bolts and change it up. So today we're gonna paint this. We're gonna paint the transmission. And thanks to Tristan again. I have my slave cylinder here. I don't have the boot for the transmission, so I'll probably just mock it up on the transmission for a little bit and get these cleaned up and then paint this bad boy. And if you guys could, stick around to the end of this video. I got a little something to share with you guys. So before I get started on the transmission, I'm actually gonna have my little paint booth set up. So I'm gonna paint this with my black wrinkle and give it a few coats, let it dry. The weather isn't the greatest today, so I'm gonna do what we can. If not, I'll at least hit it with one coat, but this is how it looks. So I didn't want to, where the bolts are at, I didn't want it to, I don't want to get any paint on there, so it'll be nice and clean. We're gonna get our first coat and then get working on this transmission. Little test run. All right. Alright, so we got our first coat. I'm gonna let that dry, just let the wind take care of it. I might even hook up my heater and put this under it and just let it bake under it. Yeah, never mind. That takes too much time. I'm just gonna let it air dry. So we'll let this dry for a bit and then let's get started on the transmission. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing off first. Take off any, little caps, little things. So I gotta mask this off with tape, and this is coming off. I gotta mask this window for the fork, mask this off, and then the starter, and then we can get started on applying our paint. Yeah, I wanted to zinc plate these, but I can't find no one locally in North County. A lot of the guy I used to go to, he shut down, or he actually closed shop. So I gotta basically either replace the bolt with Downstar bolts, or just find a shop up in LA or Orange County that does zinc coating. So gotta do what you gotta do ultimately. So I'm not too crazy. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I need to get this done. It's not like anything major, so I'll be fine. I'll live for the most part. But I'm just taking this mount off, and then we're gonna flip it on its side, and I'm gonna mask off a few things before I get started on applying the first coat. Just kind of takes me back to when I was building my last transmission on my old GSR, JDM GSR transmission, and I remember just doing this whole setup. My dad's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, just painting my transmission." And my dad actually got a kick out of watching me work on my car. And he's just like, hey, I remember I had to talk with my cousin originally when the car was my hatchback was running before it was done. And I was going through my transmission. And my dad's like, you're the reason he's into this. He's like, hey, it's better than him being on drugs or in jail. And that's one thing I've always learned to appreciate is that, some people say, oh, it's a money pit. I was like, it's a hobby. It's something you enjoy doing. And you know what? It's your money. So, I mean, ultimately, you can spend it how you want. But, yep. All right, so don't mind my masking abilities. Like I said, this isn't a paint booth. This is my garage. But I was able to mask off where the starter's at, where the axle comes through. A couple other things I want to get done. With the forks, I just put a towel in there, and I taped off this clip. So we're gonna throw our first coat on, and hopefully it comes out pretty good, and then let it dry for a bit. Worst case, if I don't get it done today, hey, I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. So let's get our coat on. Our first coat is drying just nicely. So I'm gonna let it dry a little longer before I put another coat on, but I should be good with that. Let it dry for a bit, and then hit it with another coat, and then I'll probably let it dry, and let it dry, unmask it, and then change all the bolts next. But so far, it looks pretty good. Got all around here. Like I said, this is like attention to detail. This is the kind of things I've always done. So for you guys that know me or just now getting to know me, this is my OCD kicking in, like masking off certain things and obviously just paying attention to detail. So I'll let this dry real quick and then hit it again. Also, really quick, I don't want to say OCD is like the term that I want to use for, how I'm building my car. I know there's tons of us out there. We have certain a certain view or way we want our cars to look and how we want it to be built. And for me, like, I'm just very meticulous. Every little thing down to the bolts is what matters to me. My last GSR setup, all my boys would be like, dude, your car is so clean, you can literally eat off of it. And I mean, that's the thing. I want it to be clean and just look great overall. I want to hit every aspect of the car, which is, the motor, the engine bay, the wheels, suspension, every little thing in that car that I can change, even with the weather moldings, certain clips. I want to change everything to the T. I want everything to just be new, replaced, and immaculate. So I'm not speaking just for myself. I know there's other builders out there that they want their cars built a certain way. They want it to look a certain way. And that's just like, for me speaking as a car builder, having your car, you want it to look, you have a vision for how you want your car to look, and you want nothing but the best, nothing less. All right, so I went and applied the second coat on this thing, and it looks freaking bling. I'm about to just start doing each one of these bolts because it's gonna get harder to take off later on. And these bolts are gonna obviously add like a little bit more pizzazz. Downstar bolts. Put those on. I'm gonna change those out real quick, and then start. After I change all the bolts, I'll unmask all the tape off, and I'm just gonna let it sit like that. I might turn it on side, but yeah, let's get that done, and then. The coat on this, I'm over here. I kind of oversprayed and started turning into Tin Man, but hit another coat with this, so this will be done here shortly too. I can unmask this once it dries. And then that mount for my alternator is just about done. I hit that with the second coat as well. So I'm just gonna change these bolts and then start taking off this tape and see how this train looks after it's done. End of it. I have the boot that goes here, but it's my parents' house, so I'll go pick that up in a couple of days. I just put the slave cylinder on just to, you know, do a little test mock up. But I cleaned this up. I didn't get too much paint on here, but all the Downstar bolts are on. And then I even cleaned this one up. I gotta tighten these down, but it's just temporary for now. But what do you guys think? Looks pretty good, huh? Just needs a starter and it needs to be put on the motor, but for now I just want to clean it up. I'm probably gonna end up changing these studs, or even just put bolts that go down for all these for that transmission, or for the mount for the tranny. And I have this mount also that's already powder coated and ready to go, so I'll slap this on. I'll change out these and then slap that on. But for the most part, the tranny looks really good. I'm overall pleased with how it came out, so nice. And this is all nice and clean. Well, I just wanted to keep this section bare, but these are all were masked off, so I just wanted to paint it. It's all good to go. Hit it with 2 coats. We're good to go here. It's getting cold, so I think it's time to go inside. So we're gonna end the video there with you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for supporting. To all my friends, to everyone that's, you know, subscribed to the channel, people that comment, hey, engage. Like, I'll talk back with you guys. You know, if there's things that, you know, for you guys that are building a car and you're interested, or you want, you know, certain information or whatever, let me know. I can definitely, you know, recommend what I've used, or certain shops, or if you're on the West Coast out here in California, we know a lot of us are, the Honda community is such a close-knit group that we all, you know one another very well by names or phone numbers. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, hey, just drop a question up in the comment section. I'll respond back to you guys. And again, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. You guys have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your week. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. So, we want to thank you guys and celebrate with you. We got over 100 subs on YouTube, and we want to go with a bang and just say thank you guys for your support, for, you know, liking the videos, commenting, subscribing, and just, you know, I'm trying to show you, like, my car, rebuilding it, and share it with the world. I want all you guys to see everything I do behind the scenes and behind camera, and I just want to say thank you guys, thanks for the support.
I'm videoing the fireworks.